Huh? Wherever I go, my homies come to. I love my squad. We up in this thing. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. I love my squad. Ain't nothing changed with the name on the check. And that's real, that's real, that's real. I don't know about y'all, but I got about respect. And that's real.
It's time for some hoops at the home of the New York Knicks. We're bringing it to you live on 2K Sports. We've got some terrific NBA action in store for you today. With Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin. And so off the tip, it's Boston. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the floor for Boston. Thomas is the point with Bradley to his side. Jared Sullinger is out there with Amir Johnson. And it's Crowder in at the small forward position. On defense, the Knicks.
And Robin Lopez, last season, he missed about 6 weeks with that broken hand. But freak injuries aside, he's been pretty durable over the course of his career. Had played in all 82 games the previous 2 seasons.
Now here's Johnson. Calderon unable to get his shot to go. And Thomas, here we go. The 9-footer's on the mark.
Wow, I'm surprised he took that shot, but he has a huge size disadvantage in that matchup. But tremendous job to knock that one down.
Now here's Calderon. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. It's going to be on Avery Bradley.
And guys, Porzingis was almost a rookie last season, but he opted to pull out of the early entry and wait a year for this past summer's draft. Seems to have worked out for him as far as how his draft stock has changed.
Greg, you're right. With Porzingis, it made sense for him to wait one more year. Clark has a lot to learn, but still comes over, as a much talked about player, a much better player than had he declared last season.
I agree with you, yet he'll still need time to develop, but all the ingredients are there. He's got a chance to be a really good player.
Yeah, the Latvian had a great shot for his height. He'll be an interesting stretch 4 in the NBA.
Good call.
Here's Crowder, the offensive rebound. Goes back up. It's deflected. They get it back. The Celtics shooting their first free throws of this game. He's off on the first. And watching Amir Johnson, Clark, he seems so casual about silently destroying opponents in the paint, and he's carried that air about him almost his entire career.
You know what? He's rarely had plays called for him, Kevin. He doesn't produce a bunch of highlights, but he's really potent. I mean, one of the league's best at defending opponents at the rim, grabbing in-traffic rebounds. Those both are valuable assets.
Ooh, that is a tough shot.
8-3. The Celtics have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter. Thomas kicks to Sullinger. We're just about 2 minutes into the first quarter. To the middle. Anthony dishes to Calderon. And out of bounds as the Celtics gain possession.
And talking about Amir Johnson, he's really the last of a discontinued model, if you will. When the Pistons called his name in the 2005 NBA draft, the year before the rookie age.
They can't guard us on the perimeter. Spread the floor and isolate up top.
inducted
Spacing,
into our
fellas.
league.
Spacing.
It did take him a number of years to kind of get up to the pro speed.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
Guys, did you know not once in Johnson's 10 seasons has he averaged more than 11 points or 7.5 rebounds a game? Sometimes he doesn't even start. And yet, there is a certain sect of followers who feel Amir Johnson is among the most valuable, efficient players in the league.
So for the Knicks, Kyle O'Quinn is checked in for Porzingis. Lance Thomas comes in for Anthony. And it's a Afflalo in for Sasha Vujacic. The Celtics also with a sub. Turner's checked in. And here's Calderon after Isaiah Thomas made that last three-pointer. It's blocked. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Bradley. And here's a Afflalo for three. It's hauled in by Thomas. Boston's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Kept alive by Boston. Turner passes to Crowder. Thomas with the block.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
He lobs up the alley-oop pass. Afflalo, no good.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Out of bounds, Boston takes possession.
Listen, the Knicks had a hard time scoring last year, just lacked any real presence in the paint, and lacking that paint threat makes things easier for the opposing defense. And sometimes we all just want to show people that we have the range.
Yeah, you speaking from experience? We already know how good his range is. He shouldn't be firing from that deep, though.
It's Sullinger with the drive. That one goes. Count it.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
Here's Afflalo. Gets that one to drop. First one of the game after 4 straight misses.
And that's exactly what they're going for on that shot.
There's Thomas with the 3. No good.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride in his defense. There are no easy threes if he's on you.
Thomas, no luck. Boston trailing. Outside Bradley. 16 feet away. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops.
Wow, got that one off right in the face of the big fella. Nice quick-fire release.
Yeah, and the mid-range shot really the only option in that situation. Sometimes when you're facing a bigger guy, you can't get it all the way to the rim.
You look at the numbers for Robin Lopez, Clark. They won't blow you away, but his impact is a lot bigger.
Exactly, Kevin. I mean, he's unselfish as a player. Does all the little things. He's not focused on his numbers or shot attempts, and that's a welcome deal for coaches and teammates. He just wants to help his crew win.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
And speaking of the intangibles for Robin Lopez, he's great at boxing out for rebounds and setting screens offensively. Again, things that there really aren't stats that are kept, but those are ways you can impact the game. And those are the kind of plays that often...
Look at that shot! How did that go in?
How about that?
Oh! The Knicks have gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Here's Galloway. Shot is no good, and it's Boston the other way. We've got 1:23 left in the first quarter. And a fast break now for New York. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Olynyk with the steal. And pushing it up, here's Boston. Thomas is running. There's the three. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
They're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results right now.
You're right. 3 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
It was a tough battle down the stretch, but the Celtics were able to get back into the playoffs last year.
And kind of just hovering around all season, but give them credit. They fought their way in and spent only 1 year out of the postseason in their rebuild.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And, you know, for the Celtics, the actual playoff series didn't go well. They got swept by the Cavaliers, but most people will remember the injuries from the series more than the play, and the Celtics have a bright future, no doubt.
And a new group in for the Knicks. Zinkis, he's checked in for Kevin Seraphin. Anthony comes in for Williams. Jose Calderon, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. And Thomas subbed in for Grant. Boston also with the sub. Jay Crowder's checked in for Thomas.
Well, listen, it was a forgettable series for Celtics fans. However, the Celtics' young core were able to experience postseason basketball. That's something that you can really never replicate. I'm sure they'll be hungry for more of it, and credit Brad Stevens on a terrific job.
Anthony can't hit.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
But they recover it. Johnson attacking. It's good. And he makes his first shot of the game.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
Here's Anthony. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
Just such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Smart kicks to Jerebko. Here's Johnson. Carmelo Anthony grabs the board. And pushing it up, here's New York. Thomas gets a wide open look, and he's good on the 3-ball. Thomas got himself on the board with 3 there. And so, both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Boston on top, up 1. And Amir Johnson re-signed in Toronto. He's been a big part of this team for years, and he talked about their... A lot of fans south of the border in the U.S. are surprised when they learn how passionate, Clark, the fans in Toronto can be.
You know, Kevin, that's so true. I mean, when they get it going at the Air Canada Center, that place rocks. And it's great to hear Amir talk about how that pumps him up and makes him want to do it for Canada.
Up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. In a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Celtics.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
Calderon is out there with Vujicic. Then there's Robin Lopez. Then it's Anthony. And it's Porzingis in at the 4. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Stolen by Vujicic. Here's Calderon. Count that as his 4th basket of the night. Just 7 shots to get there. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for New York.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
Yeah, but they've also protected the paint extremely well. You see that in their block shot totals, but also they've altered a lot of shots.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and he'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
A different look for New York. Derek Williams, he checked in for Porzingis. For Sasha Vujicic. And it's Grant in for Jose Calderon. Isaiah Thomas, he's checked in for the Celtics.
And really a fantastic season for Sullinger last year. Really made some leaps forward, but missed a lot of time still due to injury.
The 3 from Thomas. That's in, coming off an assist from Johnson. 14 points for Isaiah Thomas.
Wow, what a special performance this guy's putting on from long range.
Well, that has been his shot today. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
And the foul on Carmelo Anthony.
Boy, that's his second foul, and he does not want to pick up number 3 here. That'll mess your game up for sure.
Full 24-second shot clock. Here's Turner. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
Couldn't run the inbound play any better than right there.
Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Grant against Turner. Grant gets a wide open look. And there are the Knicks with another bucket. Celtics trail by 5. Thomas gets a wide open look. That doesn't go either for Thomas. Knicks have gone 5 of 8 from the floor here in the second quarter. Over 60% shooting. And it's slammed in by Williams.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Guys, this one is threatening to get really ugly. Yeah, it's got to be concerned with all the missed shots here. And every team goes through cold streaks. You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
And the best way to do that when you're missing shots is to get to the foul line. Be aggressive, get to the foul line, and knock down some of those freebies, and the tide can turn for you.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And you guys, he was once considered a tweener, but now I think Derrick Williams has kind of settled in to that 4 position. Seems to be the best position fit for him at this stage of his career.
For the Knicks, Kevin Serafin, he's checked in for Lopez. Kyle O'Quinn comes in for Derrick Williams. And it's Calderon in for Grant. Celtics trail by 7. Last year, Williams did find a nice niche playing the 4. Still, his minutes and numbers, Clark, remain low.
Well, it's unfair because he was drafted so high, top 5 when he came out, and I don't think he'll ever live up to that draft position. The highlight dunks are great, but he's got to find other ways to continue to grow. It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start varying some of those. Nice silky finish on the alley-oop.
That sequence, I don't think Clark could have been executed any better.
Stupendous feed.
And that's the beauty of the game right there. I hope we get the opportunity to see a few more of those.
Calderon with it. Now guarded by Brad. Fires from 18. And Anthony with the basket on the assist by Calderon. That's 7 points for Carmelo Anthony. For Boston, they've gone just 33% from the field in what's been a cold second quarter for them. Just 3 of 9. The Knicks leading by 8. To the middle, here's Galloway. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Galloway's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
You know, a good job by the defender of not getting fooled by the step back, but he still got the shot to fall.
New York calls timeout.
And guys, as much as Isaiah Thomas can help you on offense, at times he can hurt you on the defensive side. Immediately posted up by whomever he's guarding, you have to give help. And, of course, that leaves your defense vulnerable, particularly on the weak side and controlling that defensive backboard.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Olynyk, he's checked in for Sullinger. Jerebko comes in for Johnson. And it's Crowder in for Turner. Here's Anthony. He's got 7. Boom, he jams it straight down.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
They get the rebound. Here's Serafin. And he misses his first shot of the game. Celtics trail by 10. Bradley. The long distance 3 is buried. Bradley's got 5 now.
That is a real nice looking deep 3 ball there, fellas.
Yeah, Clark, major confidence on display.
Wasted no time on that one.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
That's a great point. 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed have come at the rim.
Calderon, that's good. And it's an 11-point Knicks lead.
Make it 10 of their last 12 points coming off assists.
You have to love the ball movement.
And that's an intentional foul.
really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Porzingis, he's checked in for Kyle O'Quinn. And it's Afflalo in for Langston Galloway.
That's 2 bombs in a row from long range.
Let's face it, the defense is a step slow. You've got to take away the airspace. And they are attacking.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
And so here is New York. The 3 from Anthony. Can't get it to go. And the Celtics going the other way now. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. It'll go, and the New York lead is cut down to just 8 points on the bucket from Thomas.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
And here's Anthony from the arc. And the officials call a traveling violation. 16 seconds left in the first half. Grant against Thomas. No good from outside. Grant outside with 1 on the clock, and it's blocked. So we've reached the end of the first half of play.
Booker Miller.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. For the Knicks, the first quarter was pretty even. Some good action during the period, as it was just a 1-point game at the end of 1. They had some very nice stretches of play in the second. And that's going to do it for now, as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment.
What a performance. Just look at the game for Thomas. He's got 21 points, and he's buried a ton of 3-pointers in this game, too.
Hey, I think we need a calculator to keep track of just how many of those he's knocked down.
Second half underway. Here's who Brad Stevens got on the floor. Thomas is the point with Bradley into his side. Amir Johnson is out there with Jay Crowder. And Sellinger in at the 5. Home in the paint.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And Isaiah Thomas, traded last season from Phoenix over to Boston, seemed to be a matter of fit and not production as to why they moved him.
Bradley can't get it to go.
3 straight misses here to start the second half.
Here's Vujicic. They grab their own miss. Tipped away. And now the fast break. Thomas with the ball. Boston, no good that time either.
Solid rebound there, and with the score like it is, that's an area where they can't afford to get lazy.
Yeah, another column in the stat sheet that hasn't gone in their favor. To climb back, they've got to put forth more effort.
Greg, you were talking about Isaiah Thomas. He had no love lost for the Suns in their first meeting. He took them apart. Mark on the remember that game? Stared him down as he was hitting shots. Looked at that bench, man. He had a big chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, and you know, most players bring that kind of edge anyway. You throw in the fact that he was disappointed how the trade unfolded. He was amped up and ready for that return visit.
The Celtics making a switch here. Smart's checked in. Celtics trail by 10 from deep 3-point range. And the rebound goes to Lopez. Lopez has got 4 rebounds in this game.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
The Knicks have gone only 1 of 6 from the field in the third quarter. Not how they pictured the half started.
Not good shot selection, long range, and a defender all up in your jersey.
And, you know, that's just the kind of defensive work he's known for. I mean, he can take that shot away from you and does it more times than not.
2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Now here's Calderon. 13 points in the game. That's short off the rim.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, they don't get much uglier than the quarter he's having.
Yeah, and it's not showing any signs, Greg, of turning around here soon. I mean, his touch has basically gone AWOL.
Here's Porzingis. That falls. Nice speed this time from Jose Calderon. Calderon's got 4 assists in the game.
Listen, Knicks finishing at the bottom of the East last season. They didn't go into the season thinking they were in for a rough go, making last season all that more painstaking for the fans.
That is good.
A good look there, and he didn't waste it. His second 3 of the game.
Sullinger dishes to Johnson. A second chance effort. That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut to just 7 on the basket from Jared Sullinger.
Worked that one inside nicely.
Last season, the Celtics had a solid 19-22 road record, Clark. Not the 500 mark most teams want, but a very good effort from a young team. No one really expected that.
Yeah, and you think about this team that's still growing and has a lot of youth. I mean, that kind of road record, very impressive. Their fans should be feeling pretty good about what the future holds with this group.
Time call here. The Knicks decide to talk it over.
And thinking back on the Celtics, on the road, their away record doesn't tell the whole story. They won their last 7 road games in that tremendous playoff push.
Derek Williams checked in for the Knicks. Flalo comes in for Jose Calderon. So Boston going with almost an entire new group. Tyler Zeller's checked in for Sullinger. Olynyk comes in for Amir Johnson. Bradley's checked in for Jay Crowder. And Thomas subbed in for Smart. The 3 kept alive. Out to Turner. Dishes it to Thomas. Shoots the 3. But they'll get another chance.
Multiple possessions have been the story of the game, and even with the big lead, this team continues to be quicker to the ball.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
Lopez. For 3. A second chance effort, and the basket by Olynyk. Now just a 5-point Knicks lead.
Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
Another away from home note for the Celtics. They were 7-1 in road games against the rest of their division. Their road play was the driving factor as to why they made the playoffs. Well, he's taken 8 shots this quarter, but only managed to net 1 of them. That's a bad ratio any way you look at it.
Here's Galloway. Turner covering. Anthony can't hit. Celtics trail by 5. Trying his luck deep. Rebound by Williams. There's 1:26 left to play in the third. Lopez passes to Williams. Rebound by Olynyk. Olynyk's got 5 rebounds tonight. Thomas, no luck.
He's lost it in this quarter, no doubt about it. Nothing seems to be going for him.
And that's going to be a treble. So for the Knicks, Vujacic comes in for Anthony, and it's Grant in for Langston Galloway. Celtics also with a sub. Jerebko's checked in for Tyler Zeller.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter. Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the 2-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with the dunk like that.
Thomas outside. Again, Thomas missing.
I think he's got to regroup and get himself together here. I mean, something's gone wrong with him this quarter. He's really fallen off.
To the middle. Williams for 3. Kept alive by New York. Here's Lopez. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. New York shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers help them win games.
Amir Johnson's checked in for Boston. Smart comes in for Bradley.
Not a whole lot going down for him at this point. He just can't buy a break.
Here's Grant, and it's blocked. They recover it. Lopez kicks to Grant. Feeds it to Williams. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
From deep three-point range, but they get it back.
That's how to bang down low. His hard work gives him another possession.
Where's the box out? Some easy second chance opportunities there.
Those kinds of mistakes drive me crazy and will absolutely derail a team's chance to win.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Celtics trail by 6. Kevin Seraphin is out there with Porzingis. Then there's Calderon. Then there's Grant. And it's Vujacic in at small forward. So that's who's on the floor for the Knicks. And he lobs it up. Stolen by Smart. To the paint. Ball's knocked loose. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession.
You know what? A low percentage pass on that one, but sometimes it's worth the risk.
Well, that time the risk did not pay off because it was well defended.
And New York making a change here. Anthony's checked in.
That's the kind of D you need.
Look at that shot! How did that go in?
How about that?
Oh! Thomas with the ball. From deep. Here's Johnson. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side.
Very nice pickup of the offensive rebound. And once he gets his hands on it, you know it's going back up and back in.
Calderon for 3. No good. And it's Boston the other way. Near the three-point line, it's Thomas. Johnson, wide open, he fires. Cans the shot with nobody near him.
Boy, they're doing a nice job, a really good job of getting second chances here. And that's a great way to cut into that lead. I mean, nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than putbacks.
Celtics trail by 5. In the corner, Crowder with it. Baseline J on the way. The shot will not go. Anthony with the defensive effort. There's a whistle, and it goes on Isaiah Thomas. Lopez, he's checked in for Kevin Seraphin. Bradley's checked in for the Celtics. Puts it up off the inbound. Calderon, no good.
This shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, you know, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Sellinger, no good. New York leading by 5. New York, no good that time either.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
And for Sellinger last season, further indication, Clark, that he needs to keep working on his conditioning.
And that was a concern coming into the league with Jared, is just how committed would he be to working on his body all the time and maintaining the level of conditioning that he needs. And injuries have been a part of that not being the case, but when he's out there, he's capable.
And he's going to get whistled for that foul, G. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Turner's checked in for Boston. Shot by Crowder, no good.
And talking about Sellinger, you wonder if he's been in the right scheme for the past couple of years. He's not a three-point shooter. He's a back-to-the-basket banger. You want proof? Only hit 28% from behind the arc last season, and that was his career high.
That one's in there. The Knicks lead is cut down to just one on the bucket from Bradley.
The defenders need to recognize and be alert to staying on him as we get into crunch time.
Anthony with the bucket.
A room service dime by Jose Calderon.
So it's the Celtics now.
You know, on the topic of Sullinger, guys, he said publicly that people are doubting him. And he's right. I mean, until he gets in better shape and stays that way, there will always be questions surrounding that part of his game. Hopefully for him going forward, he can be more Duncan than Diaz in the way he treats his body.
The three from Anthony. The rebound by the Celtics. Bradley's got 4 rebounds in this game. To take the lead, Crowder, and unable there to get the go-ahead bucket. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way. Aaron Aflalo, who's checked in for New York. And the Celtics also making a change. Thomas is checked in. Boston's gone 2 of 5 on three-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Lopez with the steal. Out of bounds, Boston takes possession.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. He just basically walked out of bounds.
Celtics shooting just 34% from the floor. Thomas outside, and he gets it to go. Thomas got 26.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
I don't know. There might be more defense in the warm-ups. Right now, these are just shooting game shots.
Thomas with the steal.
That's the thing with basketball. Things can change rather rapidly. It can go against you in a hurry.
Especially when you turn the ball over. And they've got a game on their hands now, and they can ill afford any more miscues.
And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
And really just asleep at the wheel. I mean, they've been caught napping here a few times, and it's starting to hurt them.
Well, they're treating the ball like it's got leprosy. I mean, turnovers this quarter resulting in 6 points the other way. Can't happen.
Anthony with it. Now Thomas defending. Anthony can't hit. Here's Boston now. They're on a 14-2 run here. It's rebounded by New York. Anthony's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Nice shot by Porzingis.
I love that plan. Set up the opportunity for the mismatch.
Yeah, knowing they have to get a bucket here and exploiting the height advantage where they can find it, and that's a no-brainer to me.
Here's Calderon. And Boston with the rebound.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
Yeah, big time. I mean, the words that come to mind, ice and cold and disappearing stroke, all would apply.
And stolen by Thomas. And Turner the bucket on the assist by Johnson. 9 points for Evan Turner. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Celtics.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. They've been in attack mode on the defensive end.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hey guys, well, Kurt Rambis had some advice for the team in that last break. He's looking for whatever they have left in the tank. He said, I know it's been a hard-fought game, but now's not the time to leave anything in reserve. If you're tired, come out. Otherwise, I expect you to be going all out, full.
Seem to get anything to go his way.
It falls! And so here is New York. Anthony with it. Now Thomas defending. Takes it to Carmelo. 6-second difference between shot and game play. From deep three-point range, Porzingis nails it. And he has brought them to within 2 points.
Those are huge points.
Beyond huge, partner. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
Crowder, he's checked in for Evan Turner. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good. And it's out of bounds. The Celtics will take it the other way.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
"17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And an intentional foul there stops the clock. First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 5-point game.
That was a critical trip to the stripe. They have a 2-possession lead now.
New York calls timeout. They trail by 5. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
You know what? And they're going to draw up something where they can get a quick shot and then maybe a foul.
That's got to be the game plan here. I mean, free throws are really their only hope. Points with the clock stopped.
He drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 4-point ball game.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
New York calls timeout. They're down by 4. There's 10 seconds left in the game. Guys, your thoughts?
And a quick bucket and a foul is really the only option at this point.
And the important thing about the foul is who you foul. They don't want to send a top-notch free thrower to the line if they can avoid it.
And the pass to Porzingis. Fires from deep. Connects! And that shot brings them to within just 1.
You know, what an advantage he brings to this offense, guys. I mean, being able to drain the 3-ball, that really can spread a defense and extend the defense as well.
And so it's Boston scraping by with the win. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. See you next time.
The 2K Sports Post.